Typically on a study tour, we'll travel around and we'll visit a couple of companies each day, the host companies that allow us to come in, and they'll usually have a group of executives that meet with us and tell us about their experiences and their story and their product line and what are some of the things they're working on right now that are meet the goals they're working on this year. But they also talk a lot about how their systems work, how their processes work.
What's the best thing from the tour, going to the tour for me, is actually seeing what they have done to get to where they are. And that's probably the biggest takeaway from me, because I don't know how to begin. If I didn't do this tour, I don't even know how to begin.
Well, I've got a few coworkers who have been on the Japan study tour and came back with a wealth of information and best practices that were picked up and ideas that we could bring into our business. So we're trying to expand that within our business unit. So we've all kind of got a charter to get involved and to get more educated on the Shingo model, the principles that underlie it, to bring that into our continuous improvement efforts.
There's definitely a networking opportunity here. Best networking happens between the different participants because you've got a group of high-level executives that are all together sharing the same experiences and then getting a chance to talk about those.
It allowed me to be able to share some of the things that we're doing within our organization and then get ideas from others, whether they were the companies that we visited or even some of my peers that joined the study tour with me. It was just an awesome ability to be able to network and benchmark and learn from each other. And it's not just this one time. I now have contacts that I can call upon in all of the places that we visited, including the people that went around on the study tour with me.
We then usually go for a plant tour, or if it's a manufacturing facility, or if it's a hospital, or if it's this other service organization, we go to where they're providing the service. If it's a hospital, we can't actually go into the hospital room where the care is being given, but we usually go meet, for example, with a group of nurses or somewhere near where the care is given and talk to the caregiver.
Really picked up a lot of information, a lot of good things. I'm really happy with the way the organizations we visited shared their culture, their path down continuous improvement.
To be able to go to different types of industries such as healthcare, manufacturing, service, it really helped to look at and visualize and visually see how it really can work in any type of organization. So many times it starts in a manufacturing or operations organization, but some of the companies that we visited in healthcare and in service really showed us that it can work anywhere.
I think the biggest takeaway for me out of this visit is hearing repeatedly from virtually every company we visited, culture. Culture is the foundation of all of this, and you can bring all of the tools to bear and you can generate results. Those results don't necessarily stick unless you have the culture underneath that fosters and continues or sustains those ideas that are implemented.
Key takeaways, there are a number of them. The first one is definitely best practices that I can bring back home when I'm back in France, when touring the different manufacturing facilities. Best practices from Shingo recipients and also from other companies which are at less advanced stages of their transformation journey. So that's one, but also learning from other participants. One thing that really strikes me is the different levels of sensitivity across the participants. What I like hearing is actually what people have taken from key learnings from their point of view further to the different visits that we take, because it turns out that people have sensitive to very different parts of the organization or systems or themes. Some people will tell about systems or processes, others will tell you about tools, others about culture, and that's a learning for me.
I think one of the key learnings for me is how to implement more enterprise-wide suggestion program or an idea generation program. Each of the companies that we visited had something, but each one had different elements that I liked, and now we'll be able to take that and share that back with my team and my folks to look at what might work best for us.
In fact, I think I'm going to go back and recommend it to some of my counterparts because I just think them seeing firsthand and getting the experience from people who have been through the journey, it's making the change. And so it's not a top-down approach, it's basically engaging everyone. And if they can see how these organizations are functioning right now with everybody involved in continuous improvement, that first-hand witness to that, I think, will pay dividends and probably quicken our rollout, and hopefully we can achieve the same results in a shorter amount of time.
I would absolutely recommend this to a colleague, a coworker, others throughout any companies that are interested in, because again, this allowed me to be able to get out to see several other types of organizations and how they implemented it.